What is up, everybody, and welcome to another video. In today's video, I am starting with my EPS Wraith because I'm actually in the middle of editing the Wraith video for release, hopefully on Wednesday, which I also believe is when this video will come out because I'm recording this literally while I'm editing that one, so I'm going to have to edit this one after I finish that one. But either way, this should come out on Wednesday, and hopefully the Wraith video does too. If it doesn't, oops, sorry about that, but we are trying with the Blade Show videos. So yeah, lots of cool stuff happening, and I've been flipping my Wraith, and I talked previously about how I'm trying to improve my flipping in a number of ways, and I've been working a lot on my scissors, and I think I've gotten very consistent with my scissors, which I'm pretty happy with. I can do them pretty quickly and consistently while I'm flipping. Of course, right now that I'm trying to do it live on camera, that is a whole different story, but in general, I feel like I've gotten to a point where I can at least like throw them in the middle of combos and stuff and feel way more, confident about it. So very happy with that. I've been putting a lot of effort into that. The other thing that I've been working on recently is just different catches and stuff like that. Trying to go into like the little choker fan catch, and then the same thing that I was working on with the parabolic in a choker fan. I've gotten that way more consistent, as you can see. So yeah, in general, lots of cool stuff that I've been working on. The other one I've been learning is the palm fan, which I am not good at. Thankfully, the Wraith really does like doing the palm fan. It's a good little one. It just whoop does it. The secret for the palm fan, and so I have a question. I have two things here, which is number one is a question: how do you guys get into the palm fan? Because the thing that is now eluding me is not the palm fan itself. Like I can kind of do the palm fan, and the more that I practice that, the better I'll get at it, obviously. But the question that I have is like, how do you get into the palm fan while you're flipping? Like, what do you do to like get into the position where you can then do the palm fan? I keep finding myself sort of having to break up my flow and do something specific and then get into the palm fan. So I'm really trying to figure out how do I do that without like breaking my flow. I mean, I could literally think about that right now. What if we did like there and then up and then palm fan? Yeah, that'd work. Yeah, so I could do a palm fan from reverse. Yep, and then that would go straight into a palm fan. Hey, see? And so there you go. There's an example of me literally doing that live. That is how I like come up with new tricks and combos. Is I'm like, okay, well, how can I get to, because the palm fan starts from this position, right? And then I just kind of roll it out like that. So how can I get there? Well, and there you go. Catch it like that, pop it up, and then roll it into a palm fan. Okay, well, there you go. But still, I'd like to know, how do you guys get into a palm fan? You know, are there different ways that you have that you find getting into this position easy from? And yeah, the other half of it is that the thing that kind of unlocked the palm fan for me is for the longest time, I've been trying to do the palm fan similar to how I do the backhand fan. And to do the backhand fan, you get the knife back here, and then you rotate it with your forefinger and your thumb, and you're kind of rotating it that way. And so that's how you get that like really quick action. And some people say, you know, you're starting the backhand fan like this, and that's true, but a lot of it, for me at least, to get that really nice momentum is coming from twisting these two fingers when it's in that position. And that's how I'm getting that motion. So for me, what I was trying to do is I was trying to do the same thing, but this way. Basically, I was trying to twist with these two fingers to like get it to go, and that just wasn't working. And I was really confused as to why I couldn't people seem to be able to do it just fine. And every time I try to do it, it flies out of my hand. And then at Blade Show, somebody taught me in person, and I learned that it is you're not using your thumb at all to do that front roll thing. You're actually using the curl of your fingers. You're like curling your fingers over it and then like pulling down with your fingers, and that is what causes the knife to spin. You're literally like using all of your fingers and their grip to cause the knife to rotate. And that's really weird for me because like I've never felt a fan that does that. I've always used my thumb. And so what I am kind of doing is that if I want to give it a little bit of extra gas, I will take my thumb and like push up against it while I pull, but my thumb isn't like moving or anything. It's standing still while I kind of pull it and launch the fan. The other thing is that some people will do it literally with their thumb like completely out of the way and then do it, and like you can totally do it that way. What I want to learn is I want to learn doing the fan out and then reversing it and doing it back in, which a lot of people are really good at. So anyways, that's the newest thing I'm kind of like trying to work on into my arsenal is that palm fan thing. But that is neither here nor there, because what I'm actually here to talk to you about today is these. Oh, well, these and this. Yeah, that's right. We have the Teflon Vulpes in my possession, and these are the final versions of it. So I have this version right now, which is the black Teflon Vulp, and then I have the 2 white Teflon Vulpes. This one is the pre-production prototype that I got that I then added all of my Pride stickers to. Which, yeah, here's the sets of Pride stickers, by the way, that come with the Teflon Vulpes. Very exciting. The black Teflon Vulp and the white one both come with 2 little sets of stickers. And whatever you like from this, the way that you do it is you literally just cut out the piece that you like and then use the sticker paper to apply it exactly where you want to on your balisong. So that's pretty cool. And you can get some really cool effects from it, as you can see, like that. I really love how that ended up looking on these things. So very exciting. But yeah, there is a black one and a white one. And so that's the first part of this video, is that I now actually have these in my possession, and I'm very happy about it. But I did want to make a bit of a PSA about the black one that I was not aware of until right now. So there's a few feature updates, and then I want to make a PSA about the black one, but I'll do that in just a bit. So the feature updates right now are that, so obviously we have the Teflon Vulpes. They exist. They're very exciting. Very soon, probably in the next month or so, we will be releasing colored versions of the Teflon Vulpes. And we went through and did some community polling to figure out what colors, and currently the 3 colors that we have decided on are pink, purple, and blue. And it is like, it's a bright pink, a bright purple, and a bright blue. And it's the entire balisong is that color. It's similar to the white and black, where every last piece of it, including the screws, is that color. The entire thing is only $10 more. It's $75 instead of $65, and there's a few reasons for that. The main one being that actually properly coating these in Teflon is a surprisingly labor-intensive job, so there's a lot of masking that has to happen that's very accurate around the pivot area and inside the pivot area, and then also for the screws themselves, they're actually Teflon coated in a very specific way. If I show you here, so I have the extra hardware that comes with these, and you can see the Teflon coating is only applied to the outside very specifically of the screws. So like here's one of the barrels, and it's been very specifically applied, and then same thing for the screws themselves. It is applied in a very specific way that Nibali's had to kind of like develop for this purpose. So I find that kind of interesting, but that all contributes to the cost of it. However, the other thing that's kind of interesting about it is that it is a pretty good coating, all things considered. So after a bit of time and testing, something I've noticed is a lot of people at Blade Show kind of said it felt like it was ceramic coated, which is, I totally agree. It really does feel like ceramic. But what's really interesting is that Teflon actually has a better durability factor than ceramic, but not for the reason that you'd think. It's because it is actually softer than ceramic. It's hard enough that it doesn't come off when you like scratch it with any fingernails or anything like that, but it is soft enough that when it hits the ground, it doesn't crack. That's actually a big problem with like Cerakote and ceramic coating methods, is that when they hit the ground, they often don't have damage just to the point that contacted the ground, but also to the area immediately around it, because those coatings are very hard, and so they can do a really good job of adding grip or some durability to some materials. But as soon as they're actually damaged by like being dropped on concrete or whatever, you notice a very distinct difference, and it affects more than just the actual impact area. Whereas with the Teflon coating, it's a little more resilient because of that softer like feel, and because of that slightly softer material, it only really takes damage to the exact spot that was impacted, and so it lasts longer over time. But regardless, the main thing with these that I talked about last time is that they are way more durable. Like genuinely, or not durable. What am I talking about? Flippable. They're actually slightly less durable, in my opinion. Obviously, the anodization on these is about as weak as the Teflon itself. Like the anodization, when you drop this on concrete, it turns silver in the same way that this will also kind of turn silver. But I would say that the anodization lasts a little bit. Like the anodization still holds up to drops slightly better, whereas the Teflon definitely will not hold up to drops the same way. It is a coating, and anything that is coating based is inherently going to be more fragile. So I do want to be clear about that. I'm not saying this is more durable than the original Vulp, because it is not, but it's also not durable. It is a durable coating, but at the end of the day is still a coating. However, what I was going to get at is that, yeah, it is way more flippable, substantially more flippable than the original Vulp. And it's really funny that that happened just from a coating, because that doesn't feel like it makes a lot of sense. And yet it does, because what I'm sort of realizing is that the reason that the Vulp, for instance, has a weird chaplain isn't entirely because of the design of the balisong itself. It has a lot to do with the grip. One of the things that makes this chaplain weird, and I think the other thing is that the weirdness of the chaplain is a bit overstated. It's not incorrect. It definitely does have a weird chaplain that is wider than normal, but at the same time, it's not a bad chaplain. I think that has been a little bit overstated over time. Regardless, the actual underlying knife is genuinely very good. It has a lot going on balance-wise and momentum-carrying-wise that I think still holds up really well to this day. And so what's happened with the Teflon Vulp is that we've kind of unlocked that latent potential by adding that little bit of grip that was necessary to really bring it to the next level. I have genuinely been enjoying flipping this thing so much more than I thought I would be. It is so much fun to flip and so much fun to play with, and the white just looks so cool in person, the way it sort of trails the actual I don't know, it gives you sort of vision trails as you're flipping it, especially in slightly darker environments with colored lighting. It looks awesome. The black version, however, is also very interesting because it kind of disappears as you're flipping it. Unless you're flipping it in a very bright area, it sort of vanishes and becomes a ghost. And for me, that's not the greatest thing in the world because it makes it kind of hard for me to see it while I'm flipping it. But at the same time, I do think it looks really cool. And if this is your thing, if a nice all black sleek look is your thing, it will really do it for you. Now, the PSA that I wanted to get to about the black one is that it is a slightly different finish right now. So as you can see, the white one is pretty shiny. It has a shiny, glossy finish, whereas the black one is matte. It has a more dull matte finish. And I didn't know that they were going for a matte finish on the black one. I just assumed that it was going to be shiny like the white one that they originally sent me. And I will tell you that all of the colored ones in the future will be shiny like this white one. But I did notice when they sent me the black one, there is a distinct difference in its flippability. It's not quite as slippery as the original Vulp. It does add just a little bit more grip, but it's not a game changer in the same way that the white version is. The white version adds a surprising amount of grip. It makes it feel very similar to a fully polished handle or a ceramic handle. It has a really surprising amount of grip for being simply just coated in something, whereas the black version, it still adds slightly more grip, but this matte finish just does slightly reduce the amount of grip that I'm feeling. It's not a make it or break it kind of thing, but I want to be very clear that the matte version is slightly less good than the white version, in my opinion. Now, something else I want to talk about is that I actually talked to Nabali's about this because I was not expecting the matte version to kind of come into existence. I thought it was going to be just this but black, and I didn't think it would be different at all. And so I talked to them about that, and they were like, oh yeah, sorry, we should have told you beforehand. What we're going to do is we're going to make 2 versions. So currently, this is the one that's for sale, is the matte black version, which still looks incredibly cool. And if you like that matte black, well, this is the one for you. But they are also making a glossy black version that will be for sale. And that one will have the like flipping improvements that I'm really, excited about and looking for. That will have, those major differences, whereas the black one has some of the flipping improvements that I was looking for, but not all of them. God, I have to flip the black one over here, else you literally just can't see it. It just disappears into the bitrate. That's so funny. But yeah, this thing is really cool looking, but that matte finish, it still flips better than the original Vulp, just not nearly as good as this one. This one flips like, it's so funny. All of the people that tried it at Blade Show were like, they wouldn't believe me that we didn't change anything else about it. Like, people were like, I genuinely don't believe you that it's just a Teflon coating that's different, because it genuinely flips so much better that it doesn't make sense that just a coating would do that. But like, I don't know, I think that's kind of the point, right? The bones of the Vulp, wow, I'm not doing good right now. The bones of the Vulp are very good. It is a good balisong at the end of the day, but it just needs more grip. And so this kind of answers that call, and it answers it in a really cool and unique way. You get the possibility of having an entirely white or entirely colored Vulp. And so those colors that are coming up, I am incredibly excited for. I have a feeling the purple one is going to become my EDC Vulp, like, immediately. I think I'm going to start using it literally every day. I'm so excited for it. The pink one is also going to be awesome, and that blue is just going to be a really, really bright cyan blue. I'm so excited for it. So, yeah. That's the Teflon Vulp. That's the news there. As I said, the black one is... They're all on sale right now on Nabali's.com, so check the link in the description if you want to get your hands on one of these things, especially right now in June during Pride Month, where you'll get the stickers included with it, and then you can create your own Pride edition, which I'm just so happy about. I think it turned out really awesome. It definitely kind of helps with the representation problem that we had previously, where we were only really going to be able to do like one flag's colorway, and I was just like, doing one flag for Pride Month is not what Pride Month is about. And I understand, like, if we wanted to do like both handles and the blade separate colors, if we were doing multiple flags, we would have to do 3 different colors for each flag, excluding, I guess, white and black, but there's not a lot of flags that use white and black. The blue between different Pride flags is different. So like each color is different, so we'd have to do unique colors for each one, and suddenly that goes from like having to produce, 4 or 5 colors to having to produce like 12 or more colors. And that's just a really, really difficult thing to do, and it just wasn't economically possible. But this sticker idea, I think, is really nice because it's also understated. Like, it's not too much, I think that's another thing about Pride products, is that like when they get a little crazy, they do... it does become a little bit much, but here I think we've really nailed it. And I will say, if you did still want to make your own Pride Vulp with the colors that are coming out, we will have pink and blue, and white already exists. So if you can get together with a couple of friends and each one of you buys like a pink one, a blue one, and a white one, well, y'all could do a trade, and then each one of you could have a different colored trans Teflon Vulp that would, flip extremely well. So that's something that I'm very much looking forward to in the future. And then the other thing that I wanted to bring up is that once we have, more colors for the Teflon Vulp, hopefully we'll be able to release like mixes, so like stuff where like the blade and the handles are different colors and stuff like that. We're not doing that quite yet because I would rather just get these out there, get people's opinions on them, and make sure that they, work and the colors are what people are expecting and like people really like them. I want to do that before we start trying to diversify and do a bunch of different colorways and stuff like that, because that's just a lot of extra effort. But in general, I am truly very happy with these things. I think they have turned out fantastically, and people really, really like the look that we have going on here. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Once again, if you guys want a Teflon Vulp, especially right now when you can get the Pride Month versions, those are going to be at the link in the description. And then the last thing, once again, as I said before, I'm trying to learn that palm fan thing. So if anyone has some advice for me as to how I can do a better job of like launching my palm fan, or maybe even like reversing back into it, or if you have any videos that you suggest me watch where somebody does a tutorial, that would be really, really useful. And then finally, yeah, if you have a way that you get into the palm fan, please let me know, because I think that would be really useful for me. I do think that this reverse index chaplain into the palm fan is something I'm going to learn to pick up, because it seems like it feels very natural to me already, even though I just came up with the idea for it. Like, it just kind of feels like it wants to do that. So that's pretty cool, and it requires the least amount. It doesn't require a lot of setup to get into the palm fan. It really is just like this, and then you catch it, and then as it's already got the momentum coming backwards to kind of turn into the palm fan. So, okay. Sorry, this was a lot of rambling, but that's what Will Flips is, so I don't know. You find a different YouTuber if you don't want that. I don't know. Sorry. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm very excited about these guys. There's just so much going on and such goodness in the world right now, and I'm very, very happy about the Vulp situation. And the colors that are coming are gonna knock your socks off. They are so very cool. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I guess I'll see y'all later. Peace.